Well, here we are again. My name is David Easthope. I'm very pleased to be working on this research again with SIX 3 years in a row and participating in an upcoming webinar. One of the key benefits of working with SIX over a series of years is we get to uncover really interesting key trends, changes, insights over the years, and we're very excited about this upcoming research. There's a number of key highlights that we think you really should know and will really benefit market data experts, market data professionals across the buy side. One of those first key trends is the continued rise of real-time data, which is becoming more frequently adopted by the buy side. And this is where we're seeing a lot of really interesting parts here. Most importantly, that real-time data is moving beyond trade execution into new workflows, which include analytics, risk and compliance, and all over across the board. And one thing to, of course, note is that real-time data and spending is expensive, and so over time, firms are raising their budgets, and we see this yet again. A continued trend is that, including real-time data, overall spending on market data is projected to rise yet again. And this trend really echoes our 2023 and 2024 results. So in this year, we see nearly 70% anticipating an increase in their budgeted spending. So this is truly across the board. However, we also see some specific data sets seeing unique allocations, and that is in data types such as risk and regulatory data, index data, tick history, and crypto data. So Matt, lots of really interesting insights around real time as well as overall spending on market data.
Yes, thanks, David. Yeah, so data flows through, most workflows in a buy side, and it's often overlooked by other technologies, fintechs, and platforms. But honestly, everything has to function with data. So seeing these results and obviously having the last 3 years, seeing the trends that have come through from them, it is super interesting. 3 things that I think would come out, particularly for me, is this intersection of tech and data, cloud and APIs. They're reshaping the way that market data is consumed. 60% of the firms in the study are now receiving data via public cloud or cloud platforms. So the range and availability of where you get data from is getting greater, and we're seeing a shift towards more scalable, more flexible, and more cost-effective kind of delivery methods. You mentioned a couple of data sets that have really peaked in terms of people's interest to buy. Another one that came through in the study is around tick history. There was a big leaning towards risk and regulatory data sets. This for tick history is also relevant because we see a lot of demand for high quality tick, specifically for surveillance, compliance, and of course for longer term back testing. Interestingly here, firms are actually willing to pay for absolutely more data, not necessarily replace one data set for another. Having good quality and having multiple data sets in that area is key for their existing workflows and solutions. I think obviously, as the headline suggests, we're still in an era where a lot of people are, adopting AI, and AI works directly with data. Data is the direct input of what you output from AI, and in the buy side, obviously, it's super important to have the right quality and right data to inform and make workflows work. What's interesting through the results we had this time is you can see that whilst there's a greater kind of adoption of AI with market data, there remains a human-centric and judgment-based kind of approach to the use of those tools. So I suppose you could say that the status quo is, human use of AI and AI being the tech. 80% of respondents said that they think this is going to be one of the biggest areas of their growth in the use of and the need of market data going forward. So in all honesty, there's so many different themes and trends running through this. It's an area which continues to grow. It continues to be slightly under the radar, but every business needs people that understand this, because this is going to be what drives them going forward, not just in terms of how they work with their customers, but how they manage their costs and how they manage their tech stack. So super interesting. Click on the link, have a look. If you're anything to do with data within the buy side, look through the full report, and there will also be a webinar that comes through in November later, where we're going to talk in more detail with various members of product from SIX. Come and see that, and you'll really understand what's going on, what's in the report, what Coalition Greenwich sees across lots of the other research that they are producing in this space, and how it can actually help your business. Thanks, David. See you there.
See you there.